my name is Margaret Doherty, and I am a mitigation planner for the Federal Emergency Management Agency within the Department of Homeland Security with the federal government. So, in other words, I work for FEMA, who you've probably heard of before. FEMA is the federal agency that helps communities after a big flooding event or a hurricane or a wildfire. What I do is I'm a mitigation planner. So I work on helping communities before a disaster, get ready for a disaster, and hopefully build bigger bridges or better buildings so that they are more resilient to the next disaster. So I've asked my daughter, Catherine, to ask me some questions that your teacher provided. So go ahead, Marin.
Okay. Does your job require a high school diploma, training/certificate from a training program, associate's degree, or bachelor's degree? What school did you attend if it does?
So I went to Michigan State University in Michigan, which is where I grew up, and I got a bachelor's in metropolitan studies. So I studied cities in undergrad, and then I went to the University of Colorado at Denver, UCD, for a master's in urban planning. And those were helpful for me to get my specific job that I have now. But one of the great things about working at FEMA is that you can come in at a, sorry, keep going. Okay. We'll just get the cat out of the way, sorry. So you can work for FEMA without a degree. It is possible, and then you can work your way up. That's one of the great things about the federal government in general. We have like seasonal jobs and temporary jobs, and sometimes people can work their way up and get a job that would otherwise require a degree. But obviously it makes it easier if you have a bachelor's degree at least.
Okay. What are 3 skill areas you use most in your career? Examples: technology, communication, math, analytical, problem solving, management, adaptability, etc.
I think the number one skill that I use is communication. I am proud to be a federal employee and a public servant, and my client is the American people, and I take that very seriously. So I work very, very hard on communicating to regular citizens that I serve in a way that in plain English and in a friendly way and as helpful as possible. That's the most important skill I have is trying to communicate with people and be a good listener. Listening is an incredibly difficult skill, actually, and I think I'll be working on it my entire life. But listening to the public, listening to my contractors, listening to my bosses, listening to the people around me and what they need, and my coworkers, and being able to listen well so that you can problem solve and communicate with people. That's probably what I spend my most time doing. And I'm on my laptop and my phone all the time.
Okay. What is an average starting salary in your career? What can someone expect to make after 10 years in your career?
The starting salary for my job, I think, is $75,000, I think. And I've been in my position, well, no, I did get a promotion, but right now I make about $107,000 so per year, which is, it's the federal government pays well, and I'm happy with that. Some people have been more successful working in the private sector for big engineering companies or big planning firms, doing the same kind of job that I'm doing, but in the private sector. You could potentially make more money. But again, I'm a public servant. All I ever wanted to do was work for the government, so I wouldn't leave my position.
What do you love most about your job?
I love helping people. Today I called a guy back in South Dakota, and he was just excited that I called him right back. small things. So I love talking to people. I love helping people. I love trying to come up with creative solutions to problems. I love planning too. I love land use planning, and natural hazards are infinitely interesting to me. I mean, you know, tornadoes. I mean, come on, what's more interesting than a tornado? So, you know, I mean, everything about it. I like the science. I like the communication. I like the problem solving.
What do you like least about your job?
Oh, it's because I work for the government. There's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy, and you can come up with a cool new idea, and you'll get a lot of reasons why we can't do that. That's just not what we do, and everything takes too long to get done. I think that would, you know, just sort of it's hard to be innovative when you work for a federal agency.
What does a typical day look like? How did you decide on this career path?
In a typical day, I work 8 to 5 in an office. I can telework. I'm on the phone a lot. I'm typing on my computer a lot. I'm in meetings. I travel a lot. We have the states that I cover are Utah, Colorado, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming. So I spend a lot of time in airplanes and in airports, waiting to get on an airplane, and traveling around, and sorry about the noise in the background. And so my typical day, I mostly go to the office and I'm on the phone, and I go to meetings, or I'm traveling to meet with community, like local representatives for communities in my region.
Do you get benefits like health insurance, paid vacation, and sick days with your job?
Yes, federal government has great benefits. I don't pay very much for health insurance or my dental insurance, and it's high quality health insurance. So the benefits are really great. I get a ton of vacation time, and I get good sick leave and good like maternity leave, and all of those things and it's very hard to be fired. So there's a lot of job security in working for the government. So you may not, you're not going to make as much as a Wall Street, financial person or something, but you're doing good and you make a good living and you have very good benefits, and it's very steady work.
If you could give yourself one piece of advice when you were a junior or senior in high school, what would it be and why?
I would not worry about the money. I would do what you love. Figure out a way to find something that you love to learn about. Because if you love learning about that topic, you'll enjoy going to school. You'll enjoy getting the degree. It won't feel like a burden. Try not to spend too much money on school. I mean, unfortunately, in the U.S., it's very expensive, and that's nearly impossible. But I don't think it matters if you go to a super, super expensive school versus a cheaper school. I think what you get out of it is going to be what you put into it. So I would do what you love, and don't worry about the career that you think you're going to have in the future, because you really don't know what's going to happen. I never intended to work for FEMA. I didn't even know they hired planners. So, and now I'm in my favorite job I ever had. So just do something you love, and the rest will work itself out. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Bye.